Hi guys, Dr. Sammy Gibson here, and today we're just going to talk about one of the fads that's been going around a little bit. One of the big ones that I talk to a lot of clients about is grain-free. Well, today we're going to talk about the keto diet in dogs a little bit. Something a little different, a little interesting, so here we go. Backtracking a little bit, grain-free, we've known that's been a problem for a long time. There have been a lot of different specialists and nutritional specialists and internal medicine specialists that I've spoken to that are not a fan of it, and some of these dogs have developed cardiomyopathies, so heart problems due to it. And grain-free is just a big marketing fad opinion, in my opinion. So I'm not a big fan of grain-free. Everybody has their opinion. Old information that money and advertising brought it back, and it did bring back some of those old problems that we did get rid of with changes in commercial diets. So that's the grain-free version. For keto diets in dogs, so a lot of times, anytime there's a fad or a trend on the human side, somebody will be trying to make money or do something and come up with a fad for veterinary medicine or those types of things. Where can they get their niche and get paid, essentially? Well, first of all, there hasn't been any great research on keto diets in dogs, but I did come across a paper here the other day that talked about it a little bit, so I figured I'd share that with you guys. So their main purposes are looking into keto diets with epileptic dogs, neurodysfunction dogs, and possible cancer patients. So a keto diet is basically low carb diet and high fats, and kind of changes your metabolism a little bit. People use it a lot for weight loss, and it does induce a state of ketosis. And that's kind of what it does. Not necessarily always the best thing. Human physicians have their own opinions on it as well. Consult with one of them, get their opinion. Doggy version, ketosis. Some of the studies that they were looking into were the cancer. Back in the 1920s, they basically defined that cancer cells tend to grow faster with carbohydrate diets. So most of our human diets now, and that might be part of the reason why we're seeing more cancer in people now than we were back then. Is it because there's just more frequent cancer, or we're better at finding it? Don't know, probably a combination of both, don't know. But in the 1920s, they did figure out cancers like growing with fatty diets. So there was this thought of, well, what if we change the diet to a keto diet, ketotic diet? Would that change and slow down the progression of cancer cell growth? And here we are. So on our paper, basically with the cancer version, they haven't had any very good research or results with it. They kind of said, this isn't working too well, we don't think so. There is a huge difference between dogs and people and how to induce ketosis. Dogs, you would have to do it for a much, much longer period of time. They metabolize things much faster than humans, and it's just not real theoretical in a canine patient. On the seizure or epilepsy side, it was really interesting, and in kids they have come up with some studies where they did have increased benefits going to a keto diet versus a carb diet with frequency of seizures. So they have looked into that a little bit on the canine side, and they did have some promising results, is what the report said. So interesting new things. We don't really know much about it yet. I wouldn't encourage anybody to go switch their dog to that type of diet. We don't know side effects or anything like that, but came across it in an article in a journal the other day and thought it was interesting. Figured I'd share it with you guys. Talk to y'all later. Bye.